Greetings YouTube, Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. This is episode number 108, and in this episode we're going to be taking on area number 7 of Mount Battle. And yeah, as we begin here, I'm going to explain a little bit why I waited so long, because it's kind of weird. I mean, it's only area 7, and I waited till after completing the game to even begin tackling it, and that is because there's such a huge level difference and just a level jump between Area 6 and Area 7, because Area 6 has Pokemon in the 40s, and then Area 7, out of nowhere, these Pokemon are up near level 60, high 50s, low 60s, and it's kind of crazy. So you need to have beaten the game, pretty much. You need to have beaten Greevil in order to have Pokemon that are this high leveled. So that's why I waited. So we have Zaprong and we have Aggron out here against a all-flying team. She's going to have Golbat, Swellow, and Murkrow. Swellow and Murkrow are the starting Pokemon. Swellow's going to go down in one Thunderbolt from Electabuzz. Not before getting an attack in, however, because Swellows are just crazy fast. Zaprong's going to grow up to level 55 after defeating the Swellow, and that's going to bring out the Golbat, which I believe is at level 58. Yes, and the level 59 Murkrow completely wastes its turn here by going for a taunt. I mean, as if I was really going to just not attack. With such fragile Pokemon, it would be stupid not to attack them, because that's their biggest weakness. One Rock Tomb from Aggron, and Murkrow goes down very easily. Alright, and with just Golbat left, we should be able to knock it out with one Thunderbolt. Even with the 3-level difference, shouldn't make that much of a difference. And yep, Golbat goes down, and that's going to be it for this battle. It's going to be it for zone number 61. Oh, that was easy. I'm figuring that this is actually going to be a pretty long video, most of the remainder of Mount Battle. I'm thinking I'm just going to keep them all in one video. I didn't really like, I mean, earlier I experimented with splitting areas up into different videos, and I didn't really like it so much, so I'm going to stick with keeping each area as its own video. And I'm assuming for this video it's going to be about a half an hour long. Maybe a little bit longer depending on how long the ladder battles of this area take. Alright, so we're on to zone number 62 now. This Hunter Gibson is going to start out with Plusle and Minun. Keep in mind that they have the plus and minus abilities, which is going to increase both of their special attack respectively when they're both on the field at the same time. They're both pure electric types, so I'm going to go for the Protect and Earthquake combination to knock them both out before they get a chance to do anything, because what they like to do is Rain Dance and then Thunder, and then with that plus and minus ability, it's crazy powerful. And then a lot of times Minun will also use Helping Hand, and that will pretty much knock any one of your Pokemon that isn't immune to it or resistant to it out in one hit. And then you also have to deal with the added effect of the 30% chance of paralysis if you do get hit by Thunder and survive. After you get them out of the way, though, this battle's fairly easy. Pidgeotto and Dugtrio are the replacements. Pidgeotto's at level 59, Dugtrio's at level 60. Pidgeotto's a normal and flying type Pokemon. And yeah, it has the same weaknesses as Swellow from the last battle, so Ice, Rock, and Electric are its weaknesses. It's not even a fully evolved Pokemon, so you shouldn't have that much trouble with it. And Dugtrio's a pure ground type. And look at Aggron tanking that quad super effective stab Earthquake from Dugtrio. That was just amazing. You go, Aggron, you are the man. Alright, so we're going to go for a Frustration there on Flygon. That does a decent amount of damage, which is kind of sad. What does your Pidgeotto hate you? Not cool, man. Treat him better. Rock Tomb from Aggron is super effective on that Pidgeotto, and it's going to bring him down fairly easily. Yeah, not too much to worry about. And Dugtrio is most likely going to go first and knock out Aggron with another Earthquake, but we're going to go for a Protect, because that means that we'll survive the turn. So Dugtrio does indeed go first and goes for an Earthquake again. Aggron's going to avoid it with Protect. Flygon avoids it with its Levitate ability, and then we can unleash a Solar Beam, which is too much for this fragile Dugtrio to handle, and it goes down in one hit. As a result of defeating the Dugtrio, Aggron grows up to level 55, and Flygon is almost there, but not quite. That's going to be it for this battle. Hunter Gibson, you are done for, sir. Alright, moving on. These two first battles went by pretty quickly. That's good. Keep slugging away right to zone 100. Yeah, I'll do that for sure. Alright, up to zone number 63 now. I think I'm going to take Flygon out. We'll put Ninetales in for this battle. Why not? That sounds good. Alright, this is Eidlon, or Idlon. I'm not sure how you would say that. I think Eidlon sounds cooler, so that's what I'm going to call it. Alright, she's going to start out with Vigoroth and Furret. Both are pure normal types. They're both fairly speedy and good with the physical attack stat and not much else, honestly. They're pretty average with the rest of their stats, but their attack and speed stats are above normal. So, Vigoroth likes to use Focus Punch, so we're going to make sure to double team him on this turn and try to get rid of him, because if he does hit Aggron with the Focus Punch, even with Aggron's defenses, it's probably going to kill him because his quad's super effective. We get the burn condition on Vigoroth, but it's not going to matter. Ouch. Double Edge on Ninetales from Furret takes away about half of our HP, so it's probably going to knock us out next turn if we don't kill that Furret. Brick Break from Aggron finishes the Vigoroth off. And there we go. Coolness. Linoone is next. It's another normal type Pokemon. Pure normal type, that is. It's from the Hoenn region, and it's not quite as powerful as Furret and Vigoroth are, but it's a little bit faster, so it's probably going to go first out of the Furret and Linoone combo that he has going on here. Indeed it is, and Shadow Ball is the move of choice, and it uses it on Aggron, which I don't really understand. Not very effective, and with Aggron's defenses, it only does like 6 damage. Furret barely survived a flamethrower, and unfortunately, Double Edge is going to get rid of Ninetales, but because of the recoil damage from Double Edge, it's actually going to knock Furret out as well. So we have a double KO here, which means that Aggron is going to get all the experience from defeating that Furret. So, let's see who I want to bring out here. We'll go with Crobat. I feel like I haven't used Crobat in a while, so we might as well send him out there. And Eidlon's going to send out Electabuzz as a replacement, and we don't really have to explain too much about Electabuzz. We know all about that all too well. Brick Break from Aggron doesn't quite knock the Linoone out. It gets it down into the red zone, though. And let's see. We're going to go for a Rock Tomb on Electabuzz with Aggron, and we'll finish off Linoone with a Wing Attack, and Crobat will be faster than Linoone, so that part's good. Linoone doesn't get a chance to attack, and down it goes. Alright, Electabuzz is going to go next, obviously, and it's going to go for a Thunderbolt. And I don't know why on earth it didn't go for a Thunderbolt on Crobat. That makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever, but I don't know. Rock Tomb takes a little bit more than a third of Electabuzz's health away, and it lowers his speed as well, so that'll give us a chance to maybe get an extra attack in. We'll see. Let's go for a Poison Fang. I don't really have that much to lose here. I'm not worried about getting paralyzed. And Poison Fang doesn't quite knock Electabuzz out, but it does badly poison him, so that part's good, I guess. But Aggron should be able to finish off the battle regardless. Thunderbolt. Oh no. It goes for a Thunderbolt on Aggron again, and this time it knocks him out. Aggron can't stand up to the high special attack of that Electabuzz. So, we're going to taunt him here and send out Vaporeon, and we're going to make sure this Vaporeon doesn't get hit by Thunderbolt at all. Electabuzz gets damaged a little tiny bit by the poisoning, but the way badly poisoned works is that it gradually increases, so on the first couple of turns it does almost no damage in poison, and then eventually it just does an amazing amount of damage to the point where it's just ridiculous. Okay, well, Electabuzz goes down, finally, and that's going to do it for Eidlon, and that's going to do it for zone number 63. We're making okay time here. We're through 3 battles, and almost at the 10-minute mark. So, we're on pace to go at a little bit over a half an hour as far as time. Alright, so let's switch Aggron with Vaporeon, and yeah, we'll have Vaporeon Star in this battle. Aggron's been getting a lot of action lately. Alright, so in Zone 64 we have Chaser Hobel. It's going to start out with Ninjask and Medicham. Ninjask is a bug and flying type Pokemon. It has the speed boost ability, so its speed is going to be increasing after every turn. Although something to keep in mind is that it's already crazy fast, so the chances of you outspeeding it to begin with are pretty slim unless you have Electrode or Crobat. Alright, we also have Medicham here, who's a fighting and psychic type Pokemon. And Medicham is very versatile because it can learn the elemental punches, psychic, shadow ball, fighting type moves, rock type moves. While it's not a powerhouse by any means, its defenses are pretty good actually. I think they're just slightly above average. Yeah, Medicham has a lot of uses. Ninjask goes down to an Ice Beam, and it was probably going to go for a Swords Dance and then Baton Pass, I'm guessing. Either way, we knocked it out with an Ice Beam. Medicham's going to go for a Rock Tomb on Ninetales, but it misses, and that was actually a really good move, but it was unfortunate for him that it missed. Jumpluff is the replacement Pokemon for Ninjask. It's at level 59, and it's a Grass and Flying type Pokemon. It's the final evolution of Hoppip, but because of its Grass and Flying type typing, it is quad weak to Ice, so if you hit it with Ice Beam, it's going to go down in one hit very, very easily. Jumpluff is fast. It doesn't have a lot of attacking power, but it likes to go first and use Sleep Powder, as it did right there on Ninetales. So now Ninetales is asleep. We're still going to get off that Ice Beam, because I was not going to be denied. Medicham goes down, and I figured Medicham was the bigger threat there. So, if I'm not asleep, I'll go for another Ice Beam on the next turn. Raichu is next. It's the evolution of Pikachu, obviously. It's a pure electric type Pokemon with a static ability, so try not to make physical contact with it if you can manage that. And Jumpluff is not going to go for Sleep Powder. It's going to go for Leech Seed instead. And it's going to Seed Ninetales. One way to get out of Leech Seed is to either use Magic Coat, or if you don't have a Pokemon that knows Magic Coat, because it's not a very popular move, you can also switch out, which is easy, something everyone can do. Alright, so Vaporeon's going to go for an Ice Beam on Jumpluff, and that gets rid of him in one hit. Goodbye. Alright, so I believe all we have left to deal with is this Raichu. It's at level 61, so it out-levels us by quite a bit. And stupidly goes for Quick Attack here. I don't know what he was thinking. A Thunderbolt or a Thunder could have easily knocked out Vaporeon. Well, maybe not Thunderbolt. Vaporeon's special defense and HP are well above average. So Thunder definitely would have knocked out Vaporeon. And we got a Flamethrower off, and doesn't quite knock out Raichu, and the Hydro Pump did not connect, so we have to go to the next turn, and somehow Ninetales is actually faster than this Raichu. We get a critical hit, which doesn't matter, but Flamethrower knocks it out. I was not expecting Ninetales to outspeed that Raichu, because Raichus are normally pretty fast. Anyway, that's going to be end of this battle, so we're almost to the halfway point. One more battle, and we'll be halfway through this area. Alright. Zone number 65. We're doing well so far. Let's see. So I've got Vaporeon, Ninetales, and Crobat that are all level 54. Oh, and Flygon. So we'll do Crobat and Flygon in this battle. Oh my, aren't you a cute challenger? Why, yes I am. I'm so cute that I'm like 12. So you're actually kind of creepy for hitting on me, lady. Alright, so apparently I made a good choice here with Flygon and Crobat, because we've got two electric-type Pokemon, Manectric and Electrode, coming out onto the field first. Both these Pokemon are very fast, so that could be a problem for us, because Crobat might actually get knocked out before I get a chance to pull off an Earthquake. If I do pull off an Earthquake, they're both going to go down very easily, but I don't know that Flygon will be able to outspeed both of them. Electrode is pretty much the fastest Pokemon in the game. It's got to be in the top 2. Anyway, somehow I do outspeed them. I don't know how that happened, or if... I mean, I'm thinking that Electrode had to have used Mirror Coat on that turn, because there's no way that Electrode was not faster than Flygon. I mean, it's like 7 levels higher than Flygon. There's no way. Even if it had no EVs at all, it should not have been slower than Flygon. Anyway, Earthquake knocks out both Manectric and Electrode with the super effective Earthquake, and Flygon grows up to level 55. Alright, the replacement Pokemon is another very, very speedy Pokemon. Actually, two very, very speedy Pokemon in Sceptile and Crobat, so that must be the theme of this battle here. It's just using the fastest Pokemon in the game. The only one that she's been missing so far, I think, is Aerodactyl. But anyway, we have a level 59 Crobat and a level 60 Sceptile. Crobat obviously is Poison and Flying type, much like the Golbat that we saw earlier on. It's weak to Psychic, Rock, Electric, and Ice. We're going to go for a Wing Attack, and it doesn't do a lot of damage, but that's to be expected. Sceptile, on the other hand, is a pure Grass-type Pokemon. It's the final evolution of Trico from the Hoenn region. It's actually a starter Pokemon. And it's one of the few Pokemon in the game that can actually learn Leaf Blade, which is an awesome move. But anyway, it's very fast and has good attacking stats, although it's pretty fragile. But it's definitely its biggest advantage is the fact that it can almost always move first. We're going to use Flygon's Flamethrower on Sceptile to inflict super effective damage because one downside to using a pure Grass-type Pokemon is that they have so many weaknesses. They're weak to Bug, Ice, Flying, Fire, Poison. It's ridiculous. Too many weaknesses. Alright, Sceptile's going to go for a Detect on this turn, so we're not going to be able to finish him off. Poison Fang obviously does not connect. And then Crobat is going to go for a Shadow Ball on our Crobat. It really doesn't do that much damage, which leads me to believe that this Crobat doesn't have a lot of attacking EVs. Because I feel like my Wing Attack did just about as much damage, but he's got the level advantage. Come on. Alright, Dragon Breath on Crobat paralyzes it, so that's going to incapacitate it as far as its speed goes, which is good news for us. And we should be able to finish off, yeah, we'll go for a Flamethrower on Sceptile. No, we'll go for it on Crobat. Why not? Alright, so we'll use Poison Fang with our Crobat to finish off the Sceptile. And our Crobat moved first, so the Sceptile's not even going to get a chance to attack. Haha! Alright, Sceptile goes down, and yet another fast Pokemon comes out onto the field. Starmie, Water and Psychic-type Pokemon. It has the chance to have two different abilities. Illuminate is one of them, and that actually has no effect in Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD, so don't worry about that. But it might have the Natural Cure ability, which also has no effect at this point because you need to actually switch out in order to activate that ability, and all it does is it just cures whatever status condition it may have when you switch it out. But because she's down to her last two, she can't do that anyway. Alright, so we'll go for a Wing Attack with our Crobat, and that's going to finish off the opponent's Crobat. Finally. Took a while, like 4 hits, but finally it goes down. And now we're going to go for an Earthquake with Flygon. And it's not going to inflict super effective damage, but we do get the critical hit, and Starmie, albeit at level 61, goes down in 1 hit. Starmie's an awesome Pokemon. If you did not have a 6th member when you did catch Starmie on City-Dark Isle, I highly suggest adding it to your team. It's fast, and it has so many different attacks at its disposal, especially Ice Beam, Thunder, Psychic. Good stuff. Alright, so, because Flygon and Crobat both grew up to level 65, we're going to switch them out for this battle against this old guy. Level 66, or Zone 66. Fun old man, Ebelo. Your name sounds like elbow, haha. Beautifly and Spinda are its starting Pokemon. So Spinda is a pure normal type Pokemon. It has the Own Tempo ability, so, yeah, Own Tempo means that you can't confuse it. And it can't be confused even by Teeter Dance. Beautifly obviously is a Bug and Flying type Pokemon. It's a lot like Butterfree. Suspiciously a lot like Butterfree. Ah! Keep butchering all these names. Anyway, yeah, it has a quad weakness to the Rock type if you want to go after that. It's also weak to Ice, Electric, and Fire. So I went for a Flamethrower that knocked it out pretty easily. And we're going to go for a Hydro Pump with Vaporeon that connects with Spinda, and it knocks him out in 1 hit. Vaporeon, you are amazing. 1 hit KO. Alright, so his only Pokemon left is a level 57 Roselia, who's weak to both Ice Beam and Flamethrower, so we're just going to hit it with the Flamethrower, and it's going to go down in 1 hit, which is kind of shameful. This was the fastest battle to date. In this area, that is. Oh, Ebolo, what are we going to do with you? You just got creamed, man. You didn't even get a chance to do any attacks. Alright, I'll be cheering you on. Okay, I'm sure you will, Ebolo. I'm sure you will! Okay, so Vaporeon and Ninetales are at level 55 as well, so we have everyone at level 55. Let's see. We'll switch Flygon back to the front, and we'll let Crobat get on that action as well. They work good together as a team. Oh, hello, you must be tired. Not quite, old lady. Not quite. I'm not tired enough to kick your ass in battle. Alright, she's going to start off with Gorbis and Magneton. Magneton is electric and steel, so it is weak to fighting, fire, and a quad weakness to ground. And Gorbis is a pure water type, although it likes to use other type moves as well, especially Psychic and Ice Beam. So try to use electric and grass type moves on it. It does have a very high special attack stat and pretty good defenses as well. It's one of the evolutions of Clamperl, so be careful when attacking this thing. Well, not when attacking it, but careful when fighting it. It's probably going to take a few hits to knock out. Alright, so withstands a Poison Fang and an Earthquake. Magneton, however, is not going to be as lucky. Magneton goes down to 1 Earthquake, so that part is good. Just a little bit afraid of a possible Ice Beam hitting Flygon on this turn. We'll see. No, it goes for a Rain Dance. It was probably going to go for a Thunder with Magneton on Crobat. That would make the most sense. But he's not going to get a chance to do that, obviously. Golduck is a replacement Pokemon. It is a pure Water-type Pokemon as well. Usually has the Cloud 9 ability, which negates weather effects. It's kind of stupid that Gorbis went for the Rain Dance there. But it also can have the Damp ability, which prevents Self-Destruct and Explosion from being used. That part would actually make sense in this battle. Giga Drain from Crobat knocks out the Gorbis, and Ampharos is the next Pokemon, so I'm assuming Ampharos is also going to go for Thunder if it would get the chance to attack, which it's not, because we're pulling off an Earthquake in the same turn. So, Ampharos is going to go down in 1 hit to that, and Golduck, not quite. Takes away about 2/3 of his health. So, if we can survive a Hydro Pump in the rain, we'll be good to go. And he goes for the Hydro Pump on Flygon. It takes him all the way down to 27 HP. That was one powerful Hydro Pump, but I think my Vaporeon's is more powerful. Mwahaha. Alright, we get a little bit of health back from the leftovers there. And we're going to go for a Giga Drain with Crobat, and I'm assuming that's going to finish it off. Oh, not quite. At least it was just a little bit of HP left. But I have Flygon using Dragon Breath, so that will finish off this battle. And that was a fast battle as well. So the longer battles were actually at the beginning of this area so far. Alright, well, Crobat and Flygon almost grow up to level 56 there, but not quite. Looks like it's going to take one more defeated Pokemon in order to get them there. But that's going to be it for zone number 67. So we have 3 battles left, 68, 69, and 70. Let's go for 68 first, obviously. I don't even know why I said that. As if we had a choice on which one we could go against. For 80 years, I've dedicated my life to grass Pokemon. Okay, Curmudgeon. Curmudgeon Okor. Alright, so he's going to send out 2 Pokemon of the same evolution line, which is a little bit unusual, but that's okay. Vileplume and Gloom. They're both grass and poison-type Pokemon. They're evolved from Oddish. So, we can go for Flying, Ice, or Fire-type moves. Actually, you can also do Psychic if you wish. We're going to go for a Flamethrower on Vileplume. We get a critical hit, which is good news because I don't know if that would have knocked him out. Vileplume has a crap ton of special defense, and a lot of times they can survive moves like Psychic and Ice Beam. Alright, so I'm assuming Gloom is going to go down in 1 hit to this Ice Beam, considering it's unevolved. And it's only at level 58. Oh, not quite. Not quite. So, yeah, that Vileplume definitely was going to endure that Flamethrower for sure. Gloom opens up the Sunlight with Sunny Day. So, that's going to activate the Chlorophyll ability. But we're going to go for a quick attack to make sure Gloom goes down first. I don't want to end up getting poisoned or put to sleep. Sunflora has the same chlorophyll ability, which doubles its speed in the sunlight. However, Sunflora is such a painfully slow Pokemon to begin with that it's not able to outspeed Ninetales even with the boost. And yeah, Sunflora goes down with one super effective Sunny Day powered up Flamethrower from Ninetales. And that's going to be it for this battle. It's always easy when a trainer only uses one type of Pokemon in battle because you can just keep exploiting the same weakness over and over and over again. Alright, got Zone 69 here. Haha, 69, LOL. Yeah, all that good stuff. Casual Guy, Ebzor. Now that's actually a pretty cool name. Alright, we have two Psychic-type Pokemon here. Two unevolved Psychic-type Pokemon as well. Kirlia and Kadabra. Both are pure Psychics. Kirlia is the middle evolution in the Ralts line, whereas Kadabra is the middle evolution in the Aber line. Kirlia can have the Trace ability, but it didn't trace anything at the beginning of the battle, so I assumed it had Synchronize. Same thing with Kadabra. It has the Synchronized ability, so if you try to inflict any status condition on it, it will be reciprocated onto your Pokemon that inflicted it on it. But they're pretty weak. Especially because, well, they're unevolved. But even their evolved forms are fairly fragile when it comes to their defenses. More specifically, their physical defenses, but I don't really have anything as far as that goes, so I'm gonna have to stick to special attacks. Kirlia went down to a Flamethrower pretty easily. Unfortunately, I got paralyzed by Kadabra's Thunder Wave, and now Kadabra is going to open the next turn with a Reflect to bolster their physical defenses. It would have been more beneficial for them to use Light Screen in that situation because I have two Pokemon that only know special attacks on the field, but I guess he has no way of knowing that. A second bite from Vaporeon knocks out that Kadabra, and we're left with Girafarig and Lunatone. More Psychic-type Pokemon. Girafarig is a normal and Psychic-type Pokemon, so fighting types actually inflict neutral damage on it, but you want to go for Dark and Bug-type Pokemon, because Ghost would normally be super effective on Psychic types, but because he's normal type, it's actually an immunity for him. Lunatone is a Rock and Psychic type Pokemon. It does have the Levitate ability, so ground is not one of its weaknesses like what it would normally be. So you want to go for Water, or Ghost, or what am I missing? Grass and Steel. Yes, and Dark. Yeah, he has a lot of weaknesses. Anyway, Hydro Pump knocks Lunatone out in one hit. I'm going to go for a Flamethrower with Ninetales, who surprisingly has been able to attack every turn since being paralyzed, which almost never happens, but that's okay. Not complaining. Flamethrower knocks out Girafarig, and that's going to be it for this battle. So we are up to the area leader now. Whew. I feel like the last half of this area has gone by so much faster than the beginning half, but that's alright. Alright, so let's see what we want to do here. All my Pokemon are at level 55. I guess that's pretty cool. That doesn't happen that often. So we'll do Aggron and Vaporeon. Why not? That's an interesting combination. An unusual combination at that. You've come this far. I can't wait to see how you battle. Alright, so we have area leader Nokon. Nokon. Zone number 70. Alright, this can be a tough battle. He's got some good Pokemon. He's going to start out with Espeon and Houndoom. Houndoom is a Fire and Dark-type Pokemon. It usually has the Flash Fire ability, so don't try to hit it with Fire-type moves. That'd be stupid. It can also have the Early Bird ability, which will wake it up early from sleep conditions. We also have Espeon here. It's a fellow evolution, and it is the Psychic evolution, and it is just a monster when it comes to speed and special attack. This thing can sweep like you can't believe. The fact that it's using Calm Mind to further increase its special attack is scaring the hell out of me right now. Alright, so Houndoom goes for a Crunch on Vaporeon. It gets the special defense lowered. And we're going to go for a Hydro Pump. And it connects with Houndoom. And it's going to take it out in one hit because fragile. Because fragile. That is a good way to construct a sentence. Because Houndoom is very fragile and will go down to anything pretty much that is super effective. Alright, so the replacement Pokemon, Typhlosion. The final evolution of Cyndaquil, the starting fire type of the Johto region. This thing, again, is a monster when it comes to special attack. Not so much with speed like Espeon, but definitely special attack. Espeon goes for a Psychic. Vaporeon has no chance to stand up to that with Calm Mind and getting his special defense lower, and he goes down, just cripples below that Psychic. Alright, so... oh, this is going to be interesting. I'm actually going to take a little bit of a risk here and send out Crobat, knowing full on that he's weak against the Psychic of Espeon. Typhlosion goes for a Crush Claw on Aggron, which makes no freaking sense whatsoever. It's a normal type move. It lowers Aggron's defense, but it does 4 damage. So what, next time you use it, it's going to do 5 damage? Iron Tail from Aggron leaves Espeon with about 1 HP left. Are you kidding me? Could not get lucky with that. Alright, so we're going to hope that Crobat is faster, and it is probably just barely faster than this Espeon, and we get a wing attack off and gets rid of Espeon, because this is by far, well, maybe not by far, but it's definitely one of the most dangerous Pokemon of this team. Crobat's trying to learn Haze at level 56, but I'm not going to teach that to him. I'm pretty content with the moves that he has now. Alright, the replacement Pokemon is Alakazam. Again, this thing is very much like Espeon. This thing is a monster. It's a monster with special attack and speed. It's ridiculous, and it will just sweep through your team if you let it get Calm Minds off. So if you can outspeed it somehow, which you're going to need a Crobat to do pretty much, or just be way over leveled, Shadow Ball exploits Alakazam's very low physical defense, and that takes out Alakazam in 1 hit before it gets a chance to do anything. Thankfully. Alright, the replacement Pokemon is another Psychic-type Pokemon with a lot of special attack. Not so much speed this time, but a lot of special attack. Gardevoir, the final evolved form of Ralts and Kirlia. This thing has a lot of special defense and special attack. Like I said, not as much speed, but it's still just as dangerous. Rock Tomb on Typhlosion. It's going to lower his speed a little bit. It is super effective, but it doesn't quite knock him out. It takes away about 2/3 of its health. So that's pretty good. Shadow Ball with Crobat on Gardevoir, and we get a critical hit on him, and I don't think that was going to kill him otherwise, but it is now, and Gardevoir goes down without getting a chance to do anything, and somehow with 3 straight Psychic-type Pokemon coming out, Espeon, Alakazam, and Gardevoir, somehow Crobat survives through all of that, and out of all of them, Aggron is the one that actually goes down to Typhlosion's Flamethrower. The irony is just mind-boggling. Okay, so with Aggron down, we're going to send out Ninetales, and this battle is all but ours here. All we have left is Typhlosion, who is considerably weakened, and I mean, it's kind of stupid for me to send out Ninetales because he only knows Fire-type moves, but figured Crobat can finish him off, which he does with a wing attack, and that's going to be it for this battle, and that's going to be it for Area 7 of Mount Battle, and that was a good battle, I think. I mean, I got pretty lucky, but at the same time, this guy has some awesome Pokemon. And thankfully, he was not able to set up any of his moves because he likes to spam Calm Mind and then just destroy you. But I avoided it. We get 1,500 Pokemon, yes. We get 1,500 Pokemon. Wow, that's kind of crazy. 1,500 Poke Coupons for completing the area. And we also get TM04, which is, you guessed it, Calm Mind. And I'm not going to teach that to anybody at this point, but I might. Actually, I don't know that anybody can actually learn it on my team. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and please stay tuned for episode number 109. Game on.